Good evening, everyone, and thank you for watching the Barre Beat podcast live right here, Main Street, Barre, Vermont, filming from the Inside Scoop, right on 802 Scoop. With us tonight, the ever blissful Raylene.
Blissful. I get blissful tonight?
Are you feeling blissful?
Sure. Why not? The sun was out for the majority of the day. What's there not to be blissful about? And when I came to town at 7 o'clock, it was still light out.
That
means that
home.
I could have still gone to Walmart at 7 o'clock. Because you know my rule.
Yes,
well, I won't go there after dark.
I know. That reminds me, I have a medication I have to pick up there.
You do?
I do, and clearly I'm not going to be able to pick it up, sadly.
Right, because you'll be here and we'll be late and the pharmacy will be closed.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
Different pharmacy, but same boat.
That's unfortunate.
We'll have to go tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although I think the cutoff was today for me.
Oh.
So maybe it'll still be there. Maybe it won't be.
Oh. I don't
So
know.
how you doing?
Good. Good. Why not?
Did you have a good weekend?
It was a very good weekend. Productive weekend. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I didn't get to go to a basketball game like I had planned. I was supposed to go to a game on Saturday. But that didn't work out, but I'll get there.
Do you want to...
There's some great games coming up. As a matter of fact, the Blue Devils, Williamstown, the girls are playing tonight. And that's a really big deal game. So
speaking about basketball games, do you want to drop another hint?
Sure.
So for those that don't know, I'll just say what the hint is about. Raylene has scored herself an actual host. Good evening,
right,
Kristen.
a co-host for
A co-host.
Thursday night shows. So, or Thursdays, not Thursdays, every day at 4. So Monday through Thursday at 4 o'clock. Because Vermont Daily Chronicle is Fridays at 4. So we're going to let them keep that slot. And I will take all the other days at 4 with my new co-host, who is unavailable until after basketball season. That was our clue last week. And let's see, this week, let's do a clue of he has a favorite whore.
That really gave it away, I'm
Maybe,
sure.
maybe not.
Yeah, that...
Maybe,
maybe
not. Followers, if they pay attention, will know exactly who it is.
This is true.
We're taking the
But don't
guesses.
put it in the comments.
Right, don't put it in the comments. Send it in a private message.
Send it in a private message to Raylene so that
you can
get
who
put
it
into the drawing or...
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you doing a drawing or are you going to do first come, first serve?
No, I'm going to take all the names and then all of the names of the people that entered and then pick one. So we could do who guesses it first. But if people watch the show and they pay attention, that clue should certainly help them a lot.
Oh, Autumn says she doesn't know, but that's unfortunate, Autumn. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But she will send some guesses.
Okay, good. Good.
All right. So what do you want to talk about first? Do you want to do city council or do you want to do school board? Do you want to do legislative? Probably.
Well, no. Let's do the school board and the school board. Although, yeah, let's do that first.
Okay. So for folks that don't know, the school budget did pass overwhelmingly. It was like a huge amount, 900 no's, 1260 yeses. It was 13 something. It was 13 something. Pretty phenomenal. It was definitely the community saying yes, we support the budget, and I think that was because people realized that there was some compromise. I understand that there's concerns about education spending, and hopefully the governor can fix it.
He's trying very hard.
Yes.
I mean,
yes,
he's really pushing for them
and he's getting attacked mercilessly. Mercilessly.
Yeah, that word.
Yes. It's unfortunate because, Phil Scott's actually putting an idea out there and he's getting attacked for it, which, quite frankly,
Well,
if you don't have a better idea, then maybe you shouldn't attack the guy that's trying to make a difference.
right.
I'm a big Phil Scott fan, so huge Phil Scott
Well,
fan.
me too. I really
The
think
guy he basically walks on water for me.
yeah.
If he could walk on water, he does.
Well, I mean, like you said, he's trying hard, and I think he's a true Vermonter, and he knows how much we're hurting, and we need this. We need some change.
Yeah, and 100%. So, not that Phil Scott watches the show, but if he does, thank you so very much.
Well, you never know.
True.
Because, he's had a few things here and there to say about telling me when I'm naughty.
Well, you can
He
it's like
sends
throwing
messages.
a dart at
He sends messages through a really good friend of ours, and every now and again.
Let's just be honest, and everybody knows it, and everybody's going to be agreeing with me. Raylene, you're naughty all the time.
Pretty much, yeah. But sometimes, I can be a little more controversial than others, and he's never given me heck. He actually has complimented me once on a couple of things that I've done, and said, good job, and then other times he said, you could be a little easier, to be quite so rough.
So Connie is asking me if I like the 5-district thing. I'm not saying that I like it per se. I do, but I don't. I personally, probably the best thing would probably be 1 district, which would drive people to distraction, and I fully understand that. But it's 5 districts is certainly better than what we currently have.
But it may be too little.
It might be too little.
Right.
It
we
could
may
be,
need 10 or 15.
But nobody else is. I mean, there has been
But not well
legislation.
over 100, right? Right now there's well over 100.
We're over 100.
Yep.
It's way too
120
many.
something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to give it a go, and I know that in other states that aligns more. It's all about that struggle between local control and expenses, and unfortunately, that's where the rub is. And I get it, Vermont. I'm like super into local control, but I also think that it's not working the way that it is, and we definitely have to modify. That's my opinion. But I'm willing to give it a go, which probably isn't the best way to do education.
At least have an in-depth conversation about it, and not just immediately poo-poo the idea, I guess.
Yeah. And I don't think Connie is. It's
No,
just,
no,
but
but,
it is. It's
but
like,
that's what you're saying. He's been up against a wall where people are really, Connie's not, but or may not be, but other people certainly have. He's been attacked by.
My guess
by the saw.
is that it's a situation. He put it out there as the beginning conversation. I would have, like I said, I would have done 1 district. If I was going to go that far, I would have just done 1 district. Because, I mean, other municipalities, or not other municipalities, but other states, their districts, student size are larger than the state of Vermont's whole district.
Right.
Like my friend he does the school, he does something for facilities type position down in North Carolina, and I want to say it's somewhere in the 30,000s, which is not too far off where we are as a total for his 1 district.
For his district, yep.
That's okay. No worries about the cap locks. I did not take it offensively. But anyway, so yeah, we'll see how that all sugars out. I think that they're working on it.
And the main goal is to work on this, to do all of this, to work on this formula that has been plaguing the system for years,
No
right?
kidding.
And simplifying things
Yep.
so that it's understandable to the average person and doesn't need 3 hours and 250 pages to explain in terms that nobody can understand anyways. I mean, the majority of this would really simplify a lot of things.
Yeah.
And really take care of a lot of troubles.
Yeah,
So conversation sounds like it would be a good idea.
And I do know when we talk about the actual weighting and the actual amounts per student, based on the information that I've read, is looking at a base funding formula, which and that's before the weights. So when I look at it, it looks like our district will actually benefit from that because our children have more weights. They don't weigh more, although maybe they do, but
Right.
They have more weights according to the long-term daily membership. Anyway, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see how
it
works.
goes.
But that being said, yeah. So
You're starting here in the city. You're starting city town in this district. You're starting off this week with some new board members.
Yes.
And things may or may not be shifting around. We know that, so Bill, you all can try for a new chair, keep the same chair, vice chair. There are things that could shift around. Plus, you have some new members.
Yep.
And
all members that you interviewed.
yeah, all members that I interviewed, which I really love doing. And I hope that I'm going to be able to do that for anyone running for city council in the upcoming elections. And I want to be able to talk to anybody looking for funding too. I would love to talk to Barre Area Development, the partnership, anybody that has requested what do you call them?
Special fundings.
Yeah, the special fundings things. And are we going to divide those up this year? Will those be divided on the ballot this year?
So
Washington
no.
County Mental
So
Health,
you're talking about
different places like that. I hope that those different entities will come in and talk, and then but the partnership and places like that as well, that people will really share their information, who they are, what they want to accomplish, and yeah.
Well, I can tell you that when it comes to the city council races, I will absolutely be here because I want to be asking questions.
And
Just
you
saying.
can be, because you're on the outside now
I'm on
of
the
that.
outside.
You're on the outside of that. So hopefully anybody and everybody that will run for a seat, city council, will come in here. And yeah.
So Wendy's asking does Wendy live in Barre City?
I'm not sure. Yeah, yes, I think she does. Wendy is on Wendy is
There's
on
3 seats. Ward 2.
which is Jeff. We
is
already
Jeff
know Jeff
Bergeron. He's
Bergeron is running.
Then there's Ward 1, and then there's Ward 3 that haven't had any declared individuals.
There
But
are
if you
people
live in-
talking about it.
If you live in Ward 1 or 3, you should
definitely reach out. Yes, Wendy, you should definitely reach out.
100%.
So Wendy is on the Planning Commission.
And she wants to step up to city council?
Well, you never know. I don't know what what ward she's in. What ward are you in, Wendy?
She's in Ward 2.
Well, shit.
That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate.
Well, she can still hook up with us and, help us with candidates and stuff. She's a good girl. Yeah.
Dang it.
See, she's on the planning commission with
Dang it.
me. We have a meeting this week.
That's really sad.
Yeah. So, But anyway, so a lot coming down the road as far as, all the school board stuff is over, all the school stuff is over, but now we bump right into the city stuff, the city budgets, the city, everything, and city candidates for the May, what is it, 13th? What is the
I want to say it's the 14th. Let me double check.
vote here in the city, though, up at the auditorium? 7 to 7, we'll be there with some sort of
second
802
Tuesday.
scoop. Let's be very specific about this time. 802 scoop will be there with something. I don't know if I'm doing hot dogs again. I don't know if I'm doing donuts again, or if I'll come up with something different. But 802 Scoop will be there with something so that we can all actually hang out, have some conversation, and like almost have a typical town meeting. We've had some really great conversations standing outside the food tent. And this year, you can stand under the tent and help. You haven't been able to do that yet because it was against it's against the rules.
It just dawned on me. I think I know where Wendy lives, and I have a story.
Oh,
Unless she's lived there longer than 30 years. If she's lived there longer than 30 years, then I don't want to tell the story.
Because it would include her.
Because I think, yeah. Because I live in the general vicinity, I believe. We'll have to.
Oh, good gracious.
Yeah.
That's a side story.
Time ago.
That's a Thursday night.
That's a Thursday
story.
night. All right, we need to get back to talking about the city council. Wendy, message me and I'll tell you the story. Okay, so she hasn't lived there. When I was a kid, I believe that's the house. The people went away for like a week, and I think I put I think I put the hose in the basement, and I think I filled it there. I feel really bad.
Are you? That's like
that's
you
horrible.
Flooded their basement?
I think I flooded their basement.
What an asshole!
I know. I do feel bad about it.
Why would you do such a thing, Michael?
Because I was a rotten child. I was a horrible child. I was a horrible child. There's no doubt about it. My weight for my education was high.
Oh my God.
I do feel bad about it. I do feel bad. And darn it, Connie asked a question.
Thank God for statute of limitations.
I know. So Connie asked who's up in Ward 1, and that's Amel Shembel.
Yep.
And Sam Stockwell is up in Ward 3.
And of course, Jeff took Teddy's seat in the caucus, and he's going to run for the seat. And we don't know if the woman that ran against him in the caucus is going to run in the election yet, right?
Correct.
She has not announced, not that we know.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And I do apologize to whoever lived in that house at the time.
Yeah, I hope they're listening, Michael.
I think they knew.
Michael drives a really bright green Jeep.
I do feel bad. I used to do, I was a naughty person before Facebook, which means that I could get into trouble and not get into trouble.
Right, because the whole world wasn't talking about it within seconds.
Correct. Everybody knew, but nobody talked. Anyway, so the school budget passed, right?
Right.
And of course, Jackie won, which I'll let you make your comment.
Love Jackie. I mean, I supported her all the way, and was because I can say that now that the interviews are over. I was very careful not to out that. I did on my personal page. But I didn't really break out with full 100% support, rah-rah, until, it was okay to.
Yeah.
And kind of for Jackie, it was okay to, I felt, for me, because she was running for the at-large, and the candidate running against her denied, didn't want to do a interview. So for me,
You could get away with it.
I could get away with it, and so I did.
And
But
she
everybody
won
else,
by,
I was very quiet about how I wanted things to turn out, and then in saying that, we have to say too that my opinion in the city doesn't matter as far as votes go, anyways, because I don't live in the city. I can't vote in the city, so
Right.
I guess my opinion can still matter, but my votes don't matter in the city. Can't do it.
And so she won by a pretty large margin, almost the same amount as, actually it's a same split as the budget did. She actually got more, or she got less. No, wait, okay. She was like 1,200 and something to 800 for the other candidate, and the budget was 13 to 900. And then, of course, in Barre City, Jeff Eddy won. It was a pretty decisive victory. It was 560 something to
258, I believe.
yeah, something like that.
248,
I don't know the
258.
numbers off the top of my head, but in Barre Town, Ian won against Terry. Ian Campbell won by about 120 to 30 votes.
That is, I 100% honest. That is the only one that surprised me. That is the one seat that surprised me.
That surprised me as well. I was not expecting that.
No, me either.
So we basically, and as I was quoted in the Times Argus, I said, the dynamics of the board have completely changed, which isn't a bad thing, right?
No, it doesn't have to be a bad thing at all.
No,
Maybe it means that, things will simmer down, change direction, and move forward for a change. I feel like we've been stalled for so long, and so it'll be good to see how it all works out. And
Yeah.
I will be tuning in Wednesday night for sure. I try to tune into as many of the school board meetings as I possibly can. Not gonna lie, they're not my favorite thing to watch. They're like, oh. But I will tune in, and I definitely want to see how the dynamics of it are, and check it out.
So on Wednesday night, the majority of the meeting is going to be about reorganization. So we will choose a chair, a vice chair, a clerk, and then we'll go through all the different, like the board operating protocols, and who signs the documents, the spokesperson, all that stuff will be determined on Wednesday night. Then we'll probably have some training, unless I'm chair again, this was the last agenda that I was able to work with. And we're going to have some training, and then we will have a conversation about the superintendent search.
So I have a question for
Okay.
you. Chair or not chair, will you be doing the very controversial breakfast again this year?
The breakfast. So, how that works, I'm whatever my stipend is going to be.
You contribute it towards
I will
that
contribute
breakfast.
it to the chair or the breakfast. So, if I'm chair, it's 4,000. But if I'm a regular, just a board member, it's 2,000. Either way, I'm going to donate that to the breakfast, because I feel that our folks deserve a nice, yummy breakfast.
Yeah, I think that's awesome that you do that. And, I never understood what everybody was so pissed off about anyway. Maybe they were just pissed off that it wasn't their idea. I don't know.
It's possible. The city council, Tom donates his stipend to, well, I think he does. He did before, and I assume he does now. Donated his stipend to the Christmas party for the city. Lucas Herring did it before that, and I did it as well for a couple of years.
Nice.
Yeah, previous mayor didn't.
No.
Anyway,
I'm
so
shocked.
moving on to.
I'm shocked.
I know, I'm terrible. That was uncalled for. All right, so city council stuff.
It's all right, Michael.
I know, I'm awful.
Yeah.
The bitterness is strong. All right. So city council tomorrow night at 6 p.m. They are going to be
It's a really
talking.
full agenda.
It is a extremely full agenda, and they're probably going to be there until like 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Or later. What was that look for?
So we're gonna let's see here. All right, so we can talk about the pilot.
Sure.
All right, so
Michael's distracted
I
again.
get distracted.
Like, oh my God, you're so
I am terrible.
crazy. Somebody commented something.
So we're going to approve the pilot agreement. That's what approve the pilot agreement for Down Street. And the interesting thing about that pilot agreement, which I don't have an answer on, is why they specified the education funds. So normal pilots, it's just like, they're going to pay this amount of money, period, full stop, because they don't have to pay the money. But in this pilot, they've got it set up so it's like 19,000 for, let's see, 19,000 in municipal taxes and 16,000 in educational taxes. So with a 3% increase every year. What I find interesting about that is that if they're nonprofit, they don't have to pay taxes on education or municipal technically. So the concern that I have with this pilot is that the assessment for the educational portion will go up, but they will only be responsible for paying a certain amount. And that means that other people in the municipality will have to pay for it.
Pay the difference.
Right. And we're talking about
So if they don't have to pay it, why did they put that wording in there?
Right. And that's the question.
So was it an error by somebody not knowing what they needed to put for verbiage?
Or was it
or
intentional?
was it intentional?
Right. And that'll be certainly something that I'm sure they'll discuss tomorrow night. And I hope there's some clarity on that, because if we're, as a municipality, doing a pilot where we're stabilizing the education portion, I'm like super against.
Right.
And for folks that don't know
Because
what we're
that's
talking
for,
about,
that means everybody in this community is
we'll be
stabilizing
paying-
it.
Right. Everybody in this, and we already have, issues
Plenty
with
that
our
we're
taxes.
stabilizing.
Correct. So for folks that don't know, Down Street, they're a really good organization. They do amazing job allowing people to have affordable housing. I mean, and they have good tenants. They do a really good job screening. They're phenomenal. They really are. I get irritated with them about the taxes situation, because they don't ever pay full taxes. They do the formula according to HUD and whatever. And I'm always looking for the like, when are you getting there?
Right.
Because that's just, me. But they do a phenomenal job. And anybody that disagrees with that, I would hotly contest that. They do an awesome job. I mean, Summer Street Apartments, they take care of their stuff. They know what they're doing. That being said, so they purchased the Quality Inn, which is up by Ruthier's.
Right. Ruthier, between the Laser Wash and Ruthier Auto, which is the sponsor of 802 Scoop.
Yep.
Love them. But the Quality Inn is that motel hotel that's in between those
Correct.
two places.
And their plan is to continue the motel hotel program that's currently being done there, which is funded through the state. And once that program's over with, they're going to turn that hotel into affordable, multi-family affordable housing, which
Right, and I
which
wouldn't
is
think
perfectly
that-
fine.
Which is fine. And I wouldn't think if they stay within the, makeup of what it is right now, they're certainly not going to put a bunch of houses or housing units in there. Because right now they're just all single room hotel rooms. So
Right.
to make those apartments would be, it's not like there's going to be 50 or 60 of them in there.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see how that conversation goes down. I hope that, there's some significant answers to the implications of that. My opinion. Just my opinion.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. And of course, they're going to ratify the collective bargaining unit, which, based on the report that we got from Michael, it sounds like it's a pretty good deal for Barre City.
Yeah.
I don't know about the police, but from the Barre City side of it, they're talking about the differential going down for late shifts, which, I mean, has a, the concern is, will that then mean people won't want to do the late shifts? And we're already down police officers as it is. I mean, we are down, I think, 5 cops, and it's certainly a huge problem.
Disappointing, and
Well, it's our society.
but understandable. Yeah, it's our society. It's budgets. It's all kinds of things. It's pay. It's budgets. But mostly, and I said it on a post. God forbid that I blamed it on this. I was told, "How dare you?" But I do. I very much blame it on the mentality of defund the police and the lack of support they have, and the judicial system and the revolving door and the catch and release. And you arrest somebody, 5, 10, 15, and in some cases 30 or 40 for the same thing, only to have within a couple of hours them back out on the street, sometimes being arrested more than once in the same day. I mean, how many times would the average person, or you at National Life, how many times just in your job would you take a kick in the teeth before you said, you know what, I'm going to start looking elsewhere, or this isn't what I'm going to do? You have to create a work environment that makes people want to do their job and and where everybody else is made to, or should be made to feel safe and supported in their positions. And I don't think that's the case when it comes to police officers and even fire and rescue. And, they put up with a lot of shit. And we have a lot of work to do to make sure that we keep that stuff and keep it up, because contrary to what a handful of people around here would love you to believe, that there's absolutely no crime. It's just a bunch of business owners whining, whiny business owners that are bitching, and that there's really nothing going on. But there is. Just read the chat pages alone of the things that people are experiencing, and stolen cars, and the vandalism, and the, gunshots, and the aggressive panhandling, and it's a problem for sure.
It is. Barb wants a blue light, by the way.
Yes, and Glenn does too. So I'm bringing Glenn his on Wednesday. I could probably bring Barb hers on Wednesday as well.
They're also going to be giving an update on the cameras.
Yes.
The City Hall cameras.
And again, some people are really pissed off that those are being used. And that's crazy. Why? Why?
I have no. So I mean, I know why people say that it's a violation of privacy, but you are not entitled to privacy when you are out and about. You're just not.
No.
The Supreme Court has indicated that, and with all due respect, if a camera
we have security cameras, and if there's ever a problem, I invite if the police ever want to use these cameras to view anything, come on in. I will give you access to anything and everything you want. I'll put a camera intentionally out my window onto Main Street. I don't care.
I personally have security cameras at my house, and
who doesn't anymore?
Since you mentioned it, since you mentioned the cameras.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't anymore?
I came out this morning and I found a dead crow on my porch, which creeped me out.
I'm sure.
But I have a camera set up on my porch, and I was able to watch it, and I watched.
What happened?
I'll show you what happened.
Oh no, it's not gruesome, is it?
No, and don't mind I had a big owl show up on my porch, and
Oh wow.
I mean you can't see it. I'm showing it right now, but you can't see what he's holding in his hand. But look at that beautiful owl. He's so pretty. So
I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen it yet?
No, it's delayed.
It's delayed. So as it goes down, he starts like messing around with whatever he's got in his claws. I have to get further down. But there's a crow in his hand. He caught a crow. And if you were listening to the video, which I didn't put there or for sound, you would hear the crows all crowing in the back.
Oh my gosh. That is a big owl. I love owls. They're beautiful.
Yeah, it was quite.
And they will pick up a small dog. Like they would pick up my dog.
I wish I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say it.
All right. You wish they could pick up bigger things?
No.
But yeah, that's, wow.
So Wendy says she saw a dead crow. I wonder if there's owls going around doing hits on the crows.
Well, I don't know, but she says apparently they're good luck.
A dead crow or an owl?
I'm not sure.
Wait a minute.
She said, oh, wow, I saw a dead crow recently on the lawn of the library. Apparently, they are good luck.
I'm going to go out and get myself a Megabucks ticket tonight. Because if it's true, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get myself a Megabucks. And if I don't show up next week, I won.
And I will have all high tech. I will have all new high tech equipment.
Yes, you will. So anyway, they're going to be talking about the cameras, and I think that cameras in City Hall Park is such a great idea, right? You know, people are vandalizing, and quite frankly, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of a good public shaming here and there. Yeah. So Wendy was freaked out about the crows that she saw and Googled it. Huh. That's really interesting. I will have to get a ticket tonight.
Well, I get the blackbirds, you know, every year when we're doing the sine waves, when we were doing the sine waves for you, every night there was and it's called a murder. And they all come out, all those crows. And that creeps me out.
There was a murder this morning at 5:45.
There really was.
Of a
Good
crow.
gracious. So.
Yeah.
But what else is on the agenda? I mean, I know it's packed full.
So, yep, it is packed full. Oh, wow. Are we? Oh, no, we started late.
Yeah.
They're going to be talking about the budgets for the police department, for the fire department, and also the grounds and facilities. So, highly recommend folks go and listen to that presentation. And then, of course, they're going to have a conversation about proposed charter changes, which we've discussed at nauseam. Nauseam, thank you.
And that would be, so the charter change it's going to go out to the voters whether or not to have the city clerk elected or appointed, correct? Because that would have to be a charter change, correct?
Correct.
But it has to be voted on.
It has to be voted on. Although I'm looking at it says that you would have to make it appointed. Yep. She's still trying to push the appointed clerk, which is super sketch because then the clerk is not an independent body. It's now,
she works for the council.
Correct.
Who you're trying to elect, who could have members trying to persuade you or making you feel as though you better do this way or you won't have a job. And that's not okay.
Correct.
Period.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of this, but I'm sure
By the people, for the people, elected by the people.
feels
working
like
for
there's
the
a
people.
hit going on, but that's okay.
I feel like there's a hit going on as well. And so did Amy Galford and a few other people that.
She's been the product of a hit quite a few times.
Yes, she has. But yeah, she's been the product of a Zoom bomb.
Yeah.
Who I still think is an internal thing. I'm fairly certain that I know who it is. I promised Michael I won't say it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But I'm fairly certain that I know who
Not
it
because
is.
it's me.
No.
That's not.
No, not because it's you.
No,
but because
I
it
don't
freaks
want
you
you
out
to
when I
make
give my
enemies.
opinions about those things.
Yes.
But I'm fairly certain that I know who it is.
Which
And,
is really gross.
It is
I mean,
really gross.
It's very gross if it's true. But yeah.
But it wouldn't surprise me one bit.
Which is really unfortunate. And for those that don't know, it's almost
It's
as
a
if
pornographic
yeah.
video that all of a sudden comes on. It is all over the screen.
And
It's,
the N word is used.
yeah,
It's gross.
very explicit sexual content. It's bad. It makes my virus detection go off every time, and it kicks me out before council kicks me out.
Yeah.
My computer does not handle that. It
Super
says, nope,
sketch.
keeping you safe, throwing you out.
Yeah.
But it's disgusting, and whoever keeps doing it should be ashamed. But I think it's a local inside job for sure. And people have to understand, you can tell what's happening. Like if somebody's streaming, you can tell that they're streaming. You know, there are names that you don't recognize, but they're tied to a certain IP address or, whatever. It really could be easily figured out with a little bit of investigation. But
You know what I just noticed that they're trying to push for a charter change?
what?
They're trying to make it so that the city can't retain 5%. And they're trying to go back to
The old way.
the old way where the money is
And
applied
who's
to
doing
the
that
taxes.
again?
I do not know who's doing that, but let me tell you, that's not a good idea. That is really bad. Mm-hmm. And I don't know who
Because having those funds in the bucket
is extremely beneficial.
and sensible.
Yeah.
I mean, does anybody ever drain their account and have nothing sitting? I mean, yeah, but it's not smart.
No. It's so for folks that don't know, about 6-8 years ago, probably 8-10 years ago, City Council approved a charter change that allowed for Barre City to retain up to 5% of the budget for, to carry over for emergency funds, which is extremely good for municipal funding, for financing, or not financing, but for stability, right? Like having, 5% of your budget in case there's like, I don't know, like the roof needs to be fixed on a building. It's really good to have that. And it's not to go over 5%. I know Barre Town has like $4 million in surplus.
Yep.
That would never happen in Barre City. The maximum I think is somewhere around 600,000 or 700,000 that would be maintained. But this charter change would go back to the other way, which I'm really surprised that somebody put that forward. I don't know who did that, but it certainly is not
A smart idea.
I'm not a fan of that. I would like to know the reasoning why.
Yeah. And I want to answer Wendy. So, yes, you can call in, dial in on the Zoom, or you can pull it up on your computer and just type in the meeting code and the password into the box and enter that way as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be
Now that Michael has noticed this, he is very sidetracked. But that does sound a little bit crazy that you wouldn't want to keep yourself
Yeah, I did
a little
not
bit.
notice that when I was reviewing the packet, and yeah, that's not great. But, and then of course, we've also got a request to create a governance committee, which I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Well, the crazy thing for me about that is that 1 minute we're talking about getting rid of committees and or minimizing the number of committees, and now we're talking about adding committees.
Yep.
It's yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I just don't know. But, oh well. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. You have anything?
No.
I'm patiently waiting for a response to find out who's put forth that.
I don't have anything. I think that that's good, except pay attention to who's running for these seats coming up in May. We'll start over the next couple of weeks here who's running. And then get out there and help even the people in your area. If you support them yourself, ask them what you can do to help, because I will tell you right now that it is a lot of work for the candidates. Not only is it a lot of work, it's expensive. And
Ooh, yeah.
the more help that you have, I mean, and this isn't, I mean, can I say how much you've spent in the past? Do you care if I say
it's
that
all
out loud?
It's all public
All right.
information.
So, I mean, when you spend $10,000-$12,000 to campaign for these seats that you make a couple of grand at a year, you're truly doing that because you love your community. You're not doing it because you're raking in the dough here.
No.
You do it out because you really care. And granted, you make, there are fundraisers and donations, and people do support you, but a good chunk of that comes out of your own pocket as well. And then the time to get the word out and the mailers and, just putting stamps on all of those envelopes. Rosemary and I mean, our tongues were, come on.
And for the record, I've never spent $10,000 on a city council position.
Right.
The most I think I've ever spent on a city council is probably $3,000. And that usually is just all my money. And then I pay Jeff back over the year.
Right, for all
It's-
the printing and stuff,
yeah.
the printing costs. But it's a lot of work, and, we do phone calls and things like that. And so if you have a member or somebody that that is campaigning that you would support, literally ask them, what can I do to help support you? Also, while you're running, even if it means taking a sign and putting it on your lawn, all of that stuff adds up and makes a big difference. But really
does.
pay attention to what's going on right now and where we're at and what we truly need in this city, which is a break. We need a break. We need to, I know this is not the popular thing, and I can say it because I'm not in government and I'm not I'm not sitting on any seat, but we need to slow down, at least stay where we're at as far as the housing stuff goes, and start talking about putting money into services that are going to help the people that are currently using the funds for housing to start moving ahead and helping themselves a little bit. Because right now we're kind of treading water here, and that's not a good thing. But and we need to be able to fix our streets, and we need to be able to put money into other things besides just housing. There's a huge picture here. It's not just about that. Though there are a small bunch of people that would like you to believe so, that is the only problem. And if we fix that, we fix everything. That fixes everything.
Interestingly,
No.
I've heard that I was listening to some sort of commentator online or in a podcast of some sort, and they were making the comment. It might have been a news article or a news show. They were saying that it's possible that our housing issue is going to go away shortly because of the baby boomers, but I can't remember how he explained it. And because there was such a glut of buying houses, and people are starting to retract now. So I'll say this: from what I've heard, there's been significant amount of houses that were bought in the state of Vermont that are not actually occupied, which is a huge annoyance to me, because we're talking about a housing shortage, and people from out of state are buying houses, and they're not being
to
filled.
come here once in a blue moon, or when there's a pandemic
Correct.
to hide.
Yeah.
It's but yeah, I mean, there's a lot to work on. So support your candidates, no matter which candidate it is. Support them, and yeah.
Absolutely.
And watch the 802 Scoop to, keep track, because we will be doing as many interviews as we possibly can.
As a side note, I will be endorsing for city council as well.
Yeah.
Not that my endorsement means anything.
But, but the platform is open to all.
Yeah.
And those endorsements have to keep kind of.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm talking, I'm not talking about the 802 Scoop. That's really your thing.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, for me personally, I will absolutely be promoting people.
Right. And the 802 Scoop will just,
Wendy, yes, second home tax possibility. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So.
But
tune in tomorrow night on 802 Scoop, Four Quarters with Lori Shepard. We'll be at 5:30. The special night, different night than normal. Normally the girls aren't here until Wednesdays, but with all the games and the playoffs, they will be here tomorrow night at 5:30. And then Michael and I will see you on Thursday.
Yep.
But and tune in to the school board meeting. Believe it or not, that's available by Zoom too, and check it out. And,
could be fun.
Could be, and
could be boring.
It's good to be involved, though. It's good to know what's going on, and I think that just gives everybody even one more opportunity to meet the new board in case they have to reach out at some point. And then Michael and I will see you on Thursday. Vermont Daily Chronicle on Friday, and as always, tune in. I think there were some troubles uploading or whatever last week, but tune in and look for Right Side Up as well.
That should be tomorrow.
Mike's doing a great job.
Yeah, I gotta upload some videos for him. And Alice makes a comment. Baby boomers would move. Give up their
I agree
houses
with her.
if they were appropriate flats, and that's 100% accurate.
I agree with that totally.
We need to make that happen. But well, since there's 18 people watching, according to what I see here, I'm going to ask folks as we wrap up that you click like on the video, give us a couple hearts, give us a couple likes, give us the little mad emojis, whatever it is. And after now, we also ask that you click share. Share it to your page, and also make sure that you follow share the page itself. That would be really awesome.
Yeah, just
really
share the page
helpful.
itself, or give a recommendation.
Oh, yes.
That
Absolutely.
if you recommend, there's a little tab right on our page that lets you recommend. We're almost there to 100% now, and we're holding steady at over 1 million views. When I checked this morning, we're at 1,342,000 and whatever. And so we cracked 1 million last week, and we're growing from 1 million views, and definitely holding steady at over 1 million. So that's thanks to all of you and what we're putting out there as well.
Yep.
And the conversations. I mean, the conversations that are being had, especially in a couple hot topic articles lately, but the conversations that are being had, which I pretty much let go pretty freely, with the exception of a few words. If you're name calling, a few, there are some things that if you're saying, I'm going to delete that. But
thank you, Wendy.
For the most part, I let everything go, because I think that it's okay for people to have a conversation and battle it out together. And,
And another way that you can help help the 802 Scoop is to shop at the sponsors, such as
Yeah. Well, we have lots. So we have Yipes, we have Preston's, we have Fecto Homes, Ruthier Auto, Vermont Quick Lube and Car Wash, The Meltdown, Taste Vermont, Campi Divino. God, I hope I'm not forgetting anybody.
Did you do Hemsley's?
Oh, Emsley's, yes, who has beautiful flowers and the best gifts ever. Especially, they have houseplants too. I just like going in there. It's so calm and peaceful. But for babies, they have this, newborn, like if you got to bring a shower gift or whatever, that too. So a cute little section for that. But yeah, we have some great sponsors, and couldn't do it without them. And we have some other behind the scenes supporters who just choose to be that way. A few of them, and certainly grateful for them. And then of course, our landlord, Jen
Yes.
Lawrence. I don't know why I say Jennifer because it's Jen Lawrence. Thank you to her as well.
Yes.
For supporting
absolutely.
us as the way she does.
And thank you to all our viewers, and we will see you on Thursday night. Once again, click like and heart emojis and share the
And
video.
check out the other podcast, and
Yep.
don't forget to place your vote or your guess by calling or
Yes.
messaging me and giving your vote for this week's guess on who is going to be my daily co-host at 4:00. And this week's clue was they have a favorite whore.
And with that, we wish you all a good night.